I went to Northwestern University and I knew I wanted to be a writing major. But when I applied to the writing major program, I didn't get in the first time. And that was really devastating to me. But I had a teacher, and never underestimate the power of a good teacher, who pulled me aside one day and basically asked me if maybe I was thinking of applying again the second year. And I decided, because she asked that question, to apply again the second year, and I got in that time. And I think that really sort of changed the course of my career and what I was going to do in my life. I feel like I was waiting my whole life to get to college. It sort of opened me up in a way that I had been craving and looking for. I took one of my first classes there was a class called the Philosophy of Love, which was kind of like just this crazy random course, but it was about like eros and agape and all of these like historical, philosophical definitions of love, and just being able to think about things in this really deep and critical way was something I think that, again, like I had been yearning for my whole life. And so when I got there, I just felt like the world sort of split open for me. I got a grant from Sendero Cisneros early in my career, which was really validating for me. It made me feel in a little way like I was maybe a real writer, or I was kind of onto something. And then I had the really great opportunity to meet with her at one point when I lived in Texas. She was there for an event, and we went out to coffee together. And we sat in this cafe, and it was right before my first book was coming out. And she said to me, you're going to go out there, and people are going to say this is a Latina book. And I want you to tell them, no, this is an American book. I just think that sort of set the tone for me and much of my work. And so I always sort of think of that moment as a really definitive moment for me. And I still think of her, because of that, as kind of a mentor. I think I'm very aware that I did not get to the place where I am on my own. That there have been people along the way who have encouraged me, who have supported me, who have helped me in lots of different ways. And, if I can do that in some small way for somebody else, I think, that's a really sort of humbling thing to be able to be a part of. Earlier, when I got to college, it kind of split the world open for me in a different way. And I think that education generally does that for people. It gives them new perspectives. It gives them new ways of looking at things. And I think that in itself is so key to helping you be able to connect with other people, especially sometimes people who are different from you, people who may not look like or sound like or act like the people who you knew growing up or from your town. But when you get to college and you see that range of experience, and the beautiful kind of multiplicity of, people that exist in the world, I think that gives you a different avenue to be able to connect with people. And, the more that we can all connect with each other, I think the better our world will function and work for all of us.